two conductor. One is inner conductor, okay, and another one is outer conductor. Inner conductor as well as the outer conductor. Okay, and it will have some length. Say the length, we are calling it as D. This is the length of the coaxial cable. Okay, length of the coaxial cable. Okay, so the radius of the inner conductor is A, and the radius of the outer conductor is B. Okay, radius of the outer conductor is B. Okay, so A means radius of inner conductor, radius of inner conductor, and B means radius of outer conductor, and D is length of the cable. Okay, length of the cable. Okay, now what is the inductance? What is the total inductance, or what is the inductance per unit length? Okay, now I'll write the inductance per unit length. That means L by D. Okay, inductance per unit length. Inductance per unit length is equal to L divided by D. Okay, because per unit length I am calculating the inductance. Once if I know per unit length, and then I can calculate the inductance for any length. Okay, so that is equal to mu divided by 2 pi, mu divided by 2 pi ln B by A. That is the ratio of the radius of outer conductor and to the inner conductor, ln B by A, and then unit of this one is Henry per meter. Unit of this one is Henry per meter. Okay, now once if I want to have the actual inductance, then you can multiply mu into D divided by 2 pi ln B by A. Okay, ln B by A, then this is simply Henry. Okay, this is simply Henry. Then you just try to know what happens if B is equal to A. What happens to the inductance? Okay, really the inner conductor and the outer conductor merge with each other, and it simply acts as a simple conductor. Then what is the inductance value? Okay, or otherwise if B goes to infinite, what happens? Or otherwise if A is 0, what happens? Then you try to analyze the scenario for a different condition. Okay, so this is the inductance of the coaxial cable. This is the formula, something you should remember always. Okay, in the exam simply they will directly ask what is the inductance of the coaxial cable. Simply you have to remember this formula. Okay, next what is the force between the two parallel conductor carrying the current I? Okay, force. In the previous case, we have seen what is the magnetic field due to the conductors carrying the current in between the conductors. But now we are going to see what is the force due to the conductors carrying the current in some direction. Okay, so first case is force between the two parallel conductor carrying the current I. Okay, so force between two parallel current carrying conductor. Okay, again there are two cases, because the current may go in the same direction or it may go in the opposite direction. Okay, so first we will see the case one. The case one is current flowing in the same direction. Okay, same direction, current flowing in the same direction. Okay, say for example, if the conductor is like this, one conductor is like this, and another conductor is like this. Okay, now the current is flowing in the same direction. Say for example, this is my direction of current I1 and this is my direction of current I2. Okay, you know that force means you should have current as well as the magnetic field. First of all, I want to know is the current I1 conductor, current I1. Okay, conductor 1. So what is the magnetic field here? Please note down here, the magnetic field will be created by both the conductor 1 as well as conductor 2. You know that once the current is flowing on the conductor, it will create its own magnetic field. It will create its own magnetic field. Okay, so similarly, the current conductor 2 also will create its own magnetic field. But what is the effect of the magnetic field created by the conductor 2 on the conductor 1? Similarly, what is the effect of the magnetic field created by the conductor 1 on conductor 2? That will give you the force. Okay, so if I want to calculate the force here, say in a conductor 1, if I want to calculate the force, okay, if I want to calculate the force here, very clearly I should know the magnetic field here due to the conductor 2. Okay, magnetic field due to the conductor 2. So it's very clear, as the current is flowing in the upward direction. Okay, as the current is flowing in the upward direction, definitely the magnetic field will be in a rotational manner. So generally it will be in this rotational manner. Okay, it will be going in this way. Once if you apply the right hand rule, the current has to the magnetic field direction would be something like this. Okay, something like this. Again, this magnetic field will also here also it will be going in this way. So what happens really that the magnetic field is actually coming outside the just coming outside the screen. Okay, just coming outside the screen. That means you will be seeing that head of the arrow. So that means what the magnetic field is really coming outside. Okay, once the magnetic field comes, once the magnetic field is coming outside, that will be denoted as dot. Okay, that will be denoted as dot. This is the magnetic field that is created by the conductor carrying current I2. Okay, please note down. This is the magnetic field that is created by the conductor I2. Okay, it will be really coming outside the screen. It will be really coming outside the screen. Okay, so once if it comes outside the screen, okay, it's very clear that what is the force here? Okay, yesterday we have seen the force at any point of time depends on what's that BIL sine theta, or simply what is the direction of the force, sir? The direction of force is simply V cross B, simply V cross B, or otherwise L cross B. Wait a bit. Simply it is L cross B. Just I am interested in the direction of the force. Okay, direction of the force. So what is the direction of L? The direction of L is something like Z cap direction. Direction of L is something like Z cap direction. What is the direction of B? The magnetic field is really coming outside the screen. Okay, just perpendicular to your eyes. Okay, so it's coming to your eyes. So once if it comes towards you, yesterday I told you. So once if it comes towards you, that direction is called X cap direction. Okay, the direction is called X cap direction. So the current is flowing in the Z cap direction and magnetic field is coming towards X cap direction. Really the force will act in the Y cap direction. Force will act in the Y cap direction. So what is the Y cap direction? So this is the Y cap direction. Force will go. Okay, the force will go in this way. Okay, the force on the conductor 1 will act in this way. The force on conductor 1. Okay, F1 I am calling it as F1, but please remember the force on conductor 1 is due to the magnetic field created by the conductor 2. Magnetic field conductor 2. So that force will finally act in the Y cap direction. Y cap direction, something like this. Um, then what is force on conductor 2 due to the magnetic field that is created by the conductor 1? Okay, as the conductor current is flowing in this way, definitely the magnetic field so the so once if you see here in this place the magnetic field, once if you observe the what is the magnetic field here, due to the conductor 1, the magnetic field will be going inside. So you will be observing okay, you will be observing the tail will be observing the tail of the arrow. Okay, now uh, what I'm interested, I want to find out the force on conductor 2. That means I should know what is the magnetic field on the conductor 2 due to the magnetic field that is created by the conductor 1. Okay, so definitely that conductor 1 will create the magnetic field in this way. So really when you are standing here, if you are standing here, okay, you will be observing the magnetic field, tail of the magnetic field. So that means the magnetic field is really going inside. Okay, magnetic field is really going inside. So now what is the force? Okay, in this case, the force is L cap and B vector. Okay, so what is that one? The L cap means direction of the current conductor. Okay, that is y, that is Z cap. Okay, what is the direction of the magnetic field? The magnetic field is really going away from you. The magnetic field is really going away from you. That is really the minus x cap direction. Okay, magnetic field is really going away from you. Okay, once if you compute this, then that will be minus y cap direction. That will be minus y cap direction. That means what? That the force here, it will be in this direction, the opposite direction. Force here will be in this direction. Okay, F2 will be in this direction. But please note down, this is due to the magnetic field created by the conductor 1, but this is due to the magnetic field created by the conductor 2. So that force, what is actually happening? Okay, see, the for this conductor the force is acting in this way. For this conductor the force is, then finally what happens, that both the conductor will come together. So there is the attraction, there is a force of attraction. So conductor will try to come to close together. Okay, so whenever the current flows in the same direction, then there will be a force of attraction. Okay, whenever the current flows in the same direction, same direction, then there will be force of attraction. Okay, force of, there will be the force of attraction. Okay, whenever the current is flowing in the same direction, okay, in a conductor, then the force, there will be the force of attraction. Similarly, once if any one of the current flows in the opposite direction, then definitely there will be a force of repulsion. So just you try to analyze that scenario. Okay, so once if any one of the current is going in the opposite way, then instead of force of attraction, then there will be the force of repulsion. Okay, so okay, that is the case 2 actually. Okay, so okay, now this is the case 2. Now I am going to analyze the case 2. In case 2, the current flows in the opposite direction. Okay, current flows in the opposite direction. The current flows in the opposite direction. Now, what I'm changing, I'm going to change the direction of current I2. Okay, instead of in this way, now. Okay, I'm not able to erase. Okay, wait a bit. Okay, current flows in the opposite direction. Case 2. Opposite direction of current. Okay, there is one conductor, there is another conductor. In this conductor, current is flowing in this way. So here it flows in the opposite way. Now what is the magnetic field due to the current I2? As really the current is flowing downwards. Okay, the magnetic field will be going inside the screen. So as the magnetic field goes inside the screen, the magnetic field due to the conductor 2 will be in this way. Okay, the magnetic field due to the conductor 2 will be in this way. Once the magnetic field is in this direction, as it is really going inside the paper, then your force will be in this way. This is the direction of the force. Okay, again similarly here what happens, what is the magnetic field due to the current 1? It is also going inside the paper. So here also you will get magnetic field like this. Okay, so once the magnetic field goes inside the paper, but here current is flowing in the opposite direction. So once if you calculate the force will go in this direction. Now, as the current flows in the opposite direction, the force also going opposite to each other. Okay, so not opposite, they are going away from each other. So that is called force of repulsion. Okay, force of repulsion. Okay, so once if it is opposite direction, then you are getting force of repulsion. Okay, you are getting force of repulsion. Okay, this is the idea. Just final conclusion you should remember, once the current goes in the same direction, there is attraction. If it goes in the opposite direction, then that is repulsion. It is something strange actually. Okay, you may think once if it goes in the same direction there will be a repulsion, but it is not so here. So please be careful about this. Okay, and, next we'll see what is the magnetic field due to the infinite sheet with the surface current density K. Okay, magnetic field due to the infinite sheet with the surface current density K. Magnetic field due to infinite sheet with surface current K. Yesterday we have seen what is the surface current. Okay, surface current unit is ampere per meter. Okay, surface current unit is ampere per meter. What is the unit of surface current? Ampere per meter. And please note down that magnetic field unit is also ampere per meter only. Okay, surface current unit is also ampere per meter only. Okay, so I take a surface, I take some sheet. Okay, if I am having a sheet like this, very clearly I have placed my sheet in the which plane? In XY plane. I have placed my sheet in the XY plane. So current has to flow in some direction. Okay, so in the horizontal plane. So this is my the direction of the current. Okay, current is flowing in this direction. Okay, this is the infinite sheet. In that infinite sheet, the surface current is flowing in this direction. Once the surface current flows in this direction, see that K, I can write it as K bar is equal to Ky, because it is having component only in the y direction, and that is Ay cap. Okay, Ky Ay cap. Now, what is the magnetic field? What is the magnetic field due to this sheet? Okay, what is the magnetic field due to the sheet? Okay, so now finally you should know what will be the direction of the magnetic field. But one thing is very clear: the magnetic field cannot be in y direction. Okay, definitely. See that magnetic field cannot be in y direction. That you should be very clear. Cannot be in y cap. Why? Because as definitely the magnetic field will be perpendicular to the current. Okay, once if you apply the right hand rule, the direction of the magnetic field will be perpendicular to the current flowing, because so far what we have seen, whenever the current is flowing in the conductor, the magnetic field will be in a perpendicular direction. Okay, it may be in the plane or it will be in some other direction. Okay, so magnetic field and current are always perpendicular to each other. Okay, so as the current flows in the y direction, definitely the magnetic field cannot be in y direction. So that means it may be in, so it may be in x cap, or it may be in x cap direction, or it may be in z cap direction, because these are all the other perpendicular vectors for y cap. Okay, y cap. So it may be in x cap direction, or it may be in z cap direction. And again, we will prove that finally it will be in x cap direction. It will not be available in z cap direction, because uh, say for example, if this is my, okay, if this is my sheet, okay, if this is my sheet, okay, I have taken only, I am taking only extreme lines. There are many lines. Okay, I will come to that later. Now I am going to take extreme lines. Okay, say if this is one line, and I am taking another line, something symmetric like that. Okay, I am standing in the middle of the plane. Okay, I'm standing somewhere else. Okay, now you know that as per the Biot-Savart law, this is your source. Okay, this is your source, this is also your source. Once if you know the source, then you have to draw a line, um, that is connecting your source and the observation point. Okay, as I am wait okay, I am connecting. I am going to connect my source. Okay, I am going to connect my source with the observation point. Say this is my source, then I am connecting like this. Okay, now uh, if this is my source, I'll connect like this. Okay, now what happens? Now really that the direction is in this way, the vector is going in this way, the vector is going in this way, then it can be resolved in the component like this, the component like this. Okay, now really that vector, this is like r cap vector. Okay, okay, this is like r cap vector. R cap vector means what? That line connecting the source and the observation point, that is r cap vector. Okay, but if you see it here, this is having two direction. Once if you resolve that vector, you will have two direction. One is z cap direction and another one is y cap direction. Okay, but what happens in the y cap direction? You are having equal and opposite component. So okay, y cap cancels. Okay, y cap cancel each other. Okay, y cap cancel each other. Okay, so you are getting only z cap. Okay, z cap means what? Direction of r cap. Okay, z cap means in this case what? The direction of r cap. You are finding the r cap direction, but r cap is fine. R cap can be in y cap or z cap, but it is but the component that is r cap component that is present in y cap, it is cancelling. Okay, it is only present in z cap direction. Okay, once you know r cap direction, then what is the idea? Okay, from the Biot-Savart law, we have seen the direction of magnetic field. Okay, the direction of the magnetic field is given by the current source direction. The direction of the magnetic field is given by the current source direction and the direction of the r cap. Okay, and the direction of the r cap. Now, what is the direction of the current source? Very clearly, our current is flowing in y cap direction. Okay, and r cap. Finally, what is the r cap direction? That is z cap. Finally, what is the r cap direction? That is z cap. So finally, my magnetic field will really be in only in x cap direction. My magnetic field will be in a x cap direction. Okay, so again, the answer is very simple. Magnetic field answer is very simple, but the direction is very important. Okay, finally, I have found out my magnetic field will be only in x cap direction. Okay, will be in x cap direction, and still that x cap direction is something perpendicular to the y cap direction. Okay, because the magnetic field and current flow always has to be perpendicular to each other. Okay, so and what is the magnetic field value? Okay, what is the magnetic field value? The magnetic field value is uh, something like this. The magnetic field value, I know that magnetic field is in only x direction, that's why I'm putting hx. Okay, the my magnetic field value is ky divided by 2. Ky divided by 2. Is it okay or not? Because it is something okay, because magnetic field unit is ampere per meter, and current density, surface current density unit is also ampere per meter. Okay, as it is a symmetrical, that your magnetic field, you may calculate the magnetic field above the plane, or you may calculate the magnetic field below the plane. Okay, depending on that's why that 1 by 2 comes. Okay, you may calculate above the plane, or you may calculate below the plane. Okay, that symmetriness above or below, that's why 1 by 2 comes. Okay, k by 2. So finally, once if you calculate above the plane, what happens? Once if you calculate above the plane, your magnetic field will be 1 by 2 ky ax cap. Okay, this we have calculated for z greater than 0. Once if you are above the plane, because I have chosen in such a way that I am above the plane. See, I have chosen a point such that I am above the plane, or otherwise you can choose a point such that you are below the plane. That also you can do. Once if you do the analysis like that, then really the magnetic field will be in an opposite direction. That is the magnetic field will be minus x cap direction. Okay, the magnetic field will be in minus x cap direction. Okay, you just try to do that. Okay, once if you go below the plane, if you choose the point below the plane, then your magnetic field will be in a minus x cap direction. Still the minus x cap is perpendicular to the y cap direction. So that is minus 1 by 2 ky ax cap. Okay, why? Because if you choose the point below the plane, really that r vector, really what is h? H is equal to idl ideal r cap. Okay, once if you choose, this is already in y cap direction. Once if you choose the point below the plane, really your r vector will be going in a minus z cap direction, in a minus z cap direction. Once if it is in a minus z cap direction, definitely your magnetic field, final magnetic field will be in a minus x cap direction, minus x cap direction. So finally, in a simple manner, I can write like this. So 1 by 2, what is 1 by 2 k bar and an cap. Okay, what is an cap? An cap is the surface vector. What is an cap? An cap is surface vector. Okay, an cap is surface vector. Okay, once if you are above the surface, once if you are above the surface, what is an cap? If you are above the surface, an cap is z cap direction. Once if you are below the surface, once if you are below the surface, the an cap is what, sir? Minus z cap direction. Okay, once if you are above the surface, what is surface vector? Surface vector is a vector that is perpendicular to the surface. Okay, this is your surface. Okay, this is your surface. Then what will be the surface vector? Definitely that is z vector, z cap direction. Okay, so once if you are above the surface, that is z cap. Once you are below the surface, that is minus z cap. From this we'll try to prove this one. Okay, from this we'll try to prove that one. Okay, once if you are above, okay, once if you are above, what is the meaning? Once if you are above, that is z greater than 0. Once if you are above 1 by 2, okay, 1 by 2, anyway k cap direction is always y cap direction. Once if you are above, what is your an? Your an is z cap. So then what is your final direction? Y cap and z cap direction is x cap direction. So that only we have proved here. Okay, once if you are above the plane, that is x cap direction. Okay, once if you are below the plane, once if you are below the plane, then what is at less than 0. Once if you are below the plane, when z is less than 0, then what is h? Once if you are below the plane, when z is less than 0, then your surface vector is minus z cap. So that's why y cap into minus z cap, that is really minus x cap. Okay, so what finally you have to remember, okay, once if in the exam, if they are asking the question like this, if direction also important means, then you have to remember this formula. In the exam, they will, once this is the final formula. Okay, once if you know this formula, then you can finally calculate what is the magnetic field direction. Once if you know this formula, where what is an, sir? An is a surface vector. Surface vector. What is surface? Surface is a surface where the surface current is flowing. Which surface? Surface is a surface where the surface current will be flowing. Okay, so this is the final formula you should finally remember. 1 by 2 k cross an cap. So really I know that is simply k by 2, but this cross product comes into the play to identify the direction. Okay, to identify the direction. Okay, so really the magnitude is really very simple. That is simply k by 2, because an cap is always unit vector. Okay, an cap is always unit vector. So really the magnitude is simply k by 2. Magnitude is simply k by 2. Now somebody tell me what is the vector nature? Is it tangential to the current or it is perpendicular to the current? Anybody?
Perpendicular to the current.
So no, sir. What I am asking, you are in some surface. With respect to surface, I am asking, not with respect to current. With respect to surface, your surface is xy plane. Okay, sir. Your surface is what? Xy plane. Is it tangential to the surface? Anyway, that is perpendicular to the current. That's okay. I am asking with respect to surface. Is it tangential to the surface or it is normal to the surface?
With respect to, sir?
With respect to xy plane. Is it tangential to the xy plane or is it normal to the xy plane? Your final magnetic field. Yeah, tangential. It is what, sir? It is tangential to the your surface. That's why yesterday also you have seen one formula like this. Whenever magnetic field comes, the difference comes, something like this. Have you seen yesterday? Whenever there is a current density K, then the difference in current density is the 2. Yes, sir? HT1, HT1 minus HT2, something like that. Yesterday you have seen, no? Okay, that's why tangential. But that is perpendicular to the current, that is okay. But that magnetic field component is a tangential component. It is tangential to the surface. Okay, tangential to the surface. Okay, so some hint to remember, because really your magnetic field will be in a tangential direction, but it is perpendicular to the current, that is okay, but it is tangential to the surface that you had. Okay, so finally you have to remember this formula. Okay. Okay, next next we'll see what is permeability and susceptibility. What is permeability and susceptibility? Anyway, it is a bigger topic as per material science is concerned, but very simply we'll see exam point of view, some few notations. What is permeability and susceptibility? Okay, permeability and susceptibility. You know that mu is equal to mu naught into mu r. Mu naught means permittivity of free space. Mu r means relative permittivity. This can also be written as mu naught, where mu r can be replaced by 1 plus psi. So in future, you know already mu r, psi is something new to you. So that is 1 plus psi, where what is psi? Psi is susceptibility. Psi is susceptibility. Okay, then what happens? What is the susceptibility of the air for free space? Air for free space, mu r is 1, then susceptibility is 0. Okay, the susceptibility of the free space is 0. So what happens when for free space mu r is equal to what, sir? Sorry, mu r is equal to 1. Okay, for free space mu r is equal to 1. So mu r is equal to 1. Once mu r is 1, then what is susceptibility? The susceptibility value is 0. Okay, yes, the susceptibility value is 0. Okay, can the susceptibility be negative or it can be positive? That you should analyze. Can mu r value can be less than 1? Any idea? Mu r வந்து minimum 1 சொல்றோம், அது less than 1 இருக்க chance இருக்கா? Anyway, that will be greater than 1, that you know. Is it possible to have a mu r value less than 1? No idea. Mu r value less than 1.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
The mu r on the ratio of mu by mu naught.
Yes, sir, sir. That is okay. Mu r value be less than 1. Anyway, mu r is greater than 1, that you know always for some material, for magnets. Okay, for iron magnet like that, mu r will be more than 1. For a material like nickel, chromium, can mu r be less than 1?
No, sir.
Okay, just
No, sir.
yes. No. Okay, konja analyze pannunga. For some material it is possible, I think mu r can be less than 1. Okay, that is called as diamagnetic material. Okay, for a diamagnetic material, I think mu r can be less than 1. For diamagnetic and paramagnetic material, we just try to find out what is the what is the mu r value for a diamagnetic and paramagnetic material. Okay, so now in this case, what finally you should exam point of view, what is important? This formula is important because psi is something new, but mu r you know already. So this is the relation between mu r and psi. Psi is susceptibility, mu r means what's the relative permeability. Mu r means relative permeability. So mu r can be written as mu r is equal to 1 plus psi, that is equal to mu divided by mu naught. That is mu divided by mu naught. Then actually in the exam the confusion will happen like this actually, whether psi is equal to 1 plus mu or 1 plus mu r, or mu r is equal to 1 plus psi. This confusion only will happen. Yesterday also it happens to me. Yesterday one student asked the doubt, what is psi, something like that. I don't know what I have told you, but something related opposite of 1. But what is the correct answer? This one is correct answer. So simply you remember with the simple hint, I used to remember like this. Okay, definitely in future you will have confusion whether mu r is equal to 1 plus I or psi is equal to 1 plus mu r. Anyway, you know that definitely one will come with plus, but you get confusion with the left hand and right hand